With the release of the Witch Queen, we've got 3 class-specific exotic glaives in the game. So we've got the Edge of Action, the Edge of Concurrence, and the Edge of Intent. Well, today I'm going to run through all these steps required in the Reverse Lure quest, and this is going to help you get your first exotic glaive. Also today I'm going to run through how to get the others, as well as some other things to look out for along the way. Well, if you're new around here or find this useful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for all the latest Destiny 2 content, and turn on notifications by hitting that bell. And roughly 98% of viewers who watch This Week in Video Games aren't subscribed, so subscribe today and never miss an update. Well, first of all today, let's have a look at the exotic glaives themselves. So we've got 3 exotic glaives in total, 1 for each class for the Titans, the Hunters, and of course, the Warlocks. So first of all, we've got the Edge of Intent, and this one is a Warlock exotic glaive. This one comes with the perk Restorative Turret, so you've got an alternate weapon action here, so when the weapon energy is full, consume it before firing to make your next shot, deploying a healing turret on impact. Well, then we've got the Edge of Action. This one is for the Titans. This one comes with Remote Shield, so again, alternate weapon action. So when weapon energy is full, consume it before firing to make your next shot, deploy a protective shield on impact. And finally, we've got the Edge of Concurrence. This is an exotic hunter glaive. This one comes with Lightning Seeker. So when the weapon energy is full, consume it before firing to make your next shot, track targets across the ground, and unleash chain lightning on impact. Well, from the reviews, I've heard these are fairly underwhelming at the moment, especially given Bungie nerfed glaives in one of the balance patches post Witch Queen. However, that doesn't mean they won't buff them in the future. And personally, I really like glaives from what I've used so far, so I'm going to be looking to create some builds with the exotic glaives to get the most out of them. But let me know in the comments what you think of the glaives so far. Okay, so that's a quick look at the glaives themselves. Next up, let's have a look at how to get them. So first of all, you want to be able to pick up something called Report Reverse Lure, and that is a quest you can find on the investigation board at the Enclave. However, to begin with, you have to be able to pick that up. So to be able to craft your own exotic glaive, then you've got to complete every quest on the investigation board at the Enclave, and that can be found in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen on the Throne World. So most of the quests are pretty straightforward, and it's just a matter of following the quest steps. However, it's worth noting here, there is one brick wall that you're going to hit which is time-gated in the quest called Report Relic Data. So here you've got to craft a bunch of weapons, but more importantly, one of the steps is to craft 2 Wellspring weapons, the Come to Pass and Tarnation. And the Come to Pass is the auto rifle and the Tarnation is the grenade launcher. Well, to get to the point where you can pick up the Report Reverse Lure that you need for the exotic glaives, you have to do a number of steps. So first of all, get through the Witch Queen campaign until the Cunning mission, complete that mission, and then go to the Enclave and pick up the quest Report Resonance Comp, and then finish that quest. Okay, so once you've got there, you've got to complete a quest called Report Relic Data. So the first step of this quest is go to the evidence board and pick up that quest. For the second step of the quest, you have to shape 3 weapons, so you've got Likely Suspect, Empirical Evidence, and Red Herring. So hopefully during the campaign you'll have found these weapons, because we'll need to craft them at the Relic. So to do this, you need to obtain the pattern, but not to worry, as these patterns are very easy to come by. You only need 1 red bordered version of each of these weapons. And there are a couple of ways to target these weapons. So with the Likely Suspect, complete the Trust Goes Both Ways quest. With the Empirical Evidence, complete the Ghost mission in the campaign. That is the 3rd mission. And finally, with the Red Herring, simply complete the Witch Queen campaign, and you will get a Red Herring to drop for you. Well, step 3, shape Come to Pass and Tarnation. So this is where things get a little bit annoying. So to shape Come to Pass and Tarnation, you need 2 red bordered versions of the weapons, and they drop only from the Wellspring activity. However, the loot rotates daily, and there's 4 weapons or 4 days of rotations, and Bungie did fix it so the red bordered weapons do drop more frequently, and I was seeing about 1 red bordered weapon drop about every 4 Wellspring runs. However, this is still a very time consuming activity, and if you miss a day, then it's a few days to wait before you can get them again. It's not the end of the world, but it is worth pointing out when you do this quest. Also, I do recommend going over to todayindestiny.com, and that is always going to tell you what the weapon drops for the day. So with the Come to Pass, that drops from Bourgogne, the Warden of Spring in the Wellspring activity, and that is the attack activity. And then with the Tarnation, that drops from Vesoul, Lightfly in the Wellspring Defend activity. And also you will need to complete the Witch Queen campaign for access to the wellspring itself. Well, step 4, reshape a weapon with enhanced traits. So thankfully, the rest of the quest is much easier and much quicker. So for this step of the quest, reshape a weapon at the relic with enhanced traits, and you're going to need some Ascendant alloy for this. That can be farmed through the weekly mission, or you can buy it from Rahul in the tower. Well, step 5 then, report your findings to the evidence board. So head on over to the Enclave again to report your discoveries. Once you've done this, and also the other quest too, finally you'll be able to pick up Report Reverse Lure. Well, next up, let's have a look at how to complete Report Reverse Lure quest. So here is a step-by-step guide for how to craft the class-specific Exotic Glaive. So pick up the quest from the investigation board at the Enclave, and then you are good to go. So step 1, place the Osmic Fragment. So first of all, head to the Queen's Bailey on the Throne World. You should see a quest marker on your map. Select this, and then you should be able to get there nice and easy. You're looking for a chalice to drop the Osmic Fragment in, so follow the waypoint, interact with it when you're next to it, then it's on to the next step of the quest. For step 2, observe the Lucent Brood. So now you set that trap, you want to watch the hive interact with the Osmic Fragment. So from the point where you dropped it into the chalice, head left towards a statue, and there's a deep sight orb there, and that is near the grass. So interact with this, and some platforms will appear. Use these to climb the wall, and you can run along here towards the plates, and from here you can get a great view of what's going on down below. Hive are going to spawn, and they'll be attracted to the Osmic Fragment, but don't shoot them as this is going to mess up the observation. Well, step 3, follow and kill the Lucent Brood. Well, now you've observed them, simply jump down and kill all the ones that you can see. So you should be able to get a new exotic marker on the map, and this is near Savathun's Palace, near where we had that little battle in the first mission in the campaign. The marker is in a room full of Lucent Hive as well as a Light-Bearing Hive too, so kill all the enemies that get in your way, and don't forget to crush the Light-Bearer's ghost, and pick up the Osmic Fragment, and then back to the Enclave for the next step of the quest. Well, step 4, you want to craft your Exotic Glaive. So once you arrive at the Enclave, make your way towards the evidence board to get the weapon pattern for your Exotic Glaive. Make your way to the relic, and you'll be able to shape one of the Exotic Glaives, the one that is specific to your class. Well, the good news here is you don't need any materials, they will all be provided. Then just simply select the parts that you want, and then your brand new Exotic Glaive will be yours. Well, next up, let's have a look at how to get the other Exotic Glaives. Well, there's good and there's bad news with the other Exotic Glaives. The good news is you don't have to repeat that quest, which can be time consuming, especially getting the Red Borders weapons for Come to Pass and Tarnation. That was just a massive pain in the arse. Unfortunately, to counteract the good news, there's also bad news too, and the drops are down to RNG. So once you've got your first Exotic Glaives on one of your Guardians, with your other Guardians you're going to need to run the Wellspring activity, and the patterns for the other Exotic Glaives are random drops from the final encounter. For example, if you start off with a Warlock like me, you run through the quest as outlined in this guide, you get your Exotic Glaive, then on your Hunter and your Titan, you only need to run that Wellspring activity to get the patterns to drop for you. Well, that is all the information you need for how to get the Exotic Glaives, and let me know in the comments what you think of the Exotic Glaives, and let me know which perks you crafted with them. Well, that is it for this guide for how to get the Exotic Glaives in Destiny 2, and as always, thank you so much for watching. For more Destiny 2 content like this, hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to This Week in Video Games. Or you can check me out on Twitter at TWIVG Podcast. Really appreciate it if you go over there and give me a follow on Twitter. And if you enjoyed this video, found it useful, liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out the other videos on the channel. Thanks again. I'll see you soon.